Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Buzz, buzz, babies, and welcome to a special episode of Blake's Buzz Live. I've got some bad idea cats in the house who came to prowl. We've got Adam Freeman and Dinesh Shamdasani. Guys, I am so honored. We kind of mentioned in the green room that you guys don't do a lot of press. And so when Adam hit me up with that, first of all, anybody who sends me an email just saying like, hey, we'd love to send you comics and we like your show. Like, all right, already you got me wrapped around your finger. I'm an easy one to get, right? But I was kind of shocked. I was really excited, and I'm so glad this happened. It's for real. It's an honor to have you guys on the channel. Honor to chat with you guys.
Thank you, man.
Everybody's got an opinion about you, right? And bad idea.
Hope so.
but all press is good press, and regardless of what anybody says, well, first of all, anybody who has actually read the comics, I don't think they can say a lot. I think your product speaks for itself, and you guys are putting out some great stuff. I'm familiar with Wave 1, Wave 2. I haven't got to dive into yet, but you got the same. You got a stacked powerhouse of creatives and some of the best artists in the game and writers. So you're just what to do, and like I said, your brand name is like synonymous with so much discourse in the comic book community. Now I know you guys have your fans, right? Because you got to have fans when you get people fucking excited for Garden Rocks, right? When you get people that are like chasing rocks like a 1 in 50 Marvel variant Alex Ross cover or something, right? You guys got a strong fan base, but unfortunately you guys get a lot of flack too for the way you operate, refusing to do trades, refusing to do digitals and stuff.
We get much less than you would think. We try to good. It. It's not even 80-20. It's like 5%.
Okay.
But we encourage them to be loud, the haters, because it's helpful. Everyone having an opinion is super helpful. The last thing you want for us is we put something out there and people look and they go, that's great. I'll get it when it comes out. And then that's it. No one talks about it. We want people to be like, fuck that. That's terrible. Why are they doing that? And then the conversation goes on until the thing is out. No one forgets about it. It feels like they've got to be involved. Otherwise they're missing a water cooler moment. That's what we try to at least foster. And you guys,
for a water cooler moment, you guys have blown that. It's like a waterfall moment, right? It's people like in a fucking barrel ready to go over the edge, like having conversations. They talk about you guys everywhere, and like I said, a lot of people do have positive things to say, but I mean, now you guys have you're doing your big presence at cons, the weird donut shop stuff, and people are already. Dude, I had people in my DMs throwing a good word for us, get us on their list for the SDCC party, and I'm like, I'm not Howard Stern, guys. I'm Blake.
That's great to hear. That's great.
The only thing they need to do to get into that party is have a gold pin, and the only thing they need to do to get a gold pin is show up and buy the comic first thing at a Bad Idea destination store. Be the first person. Simple as that. Then you can come to the party. Yeah, exactly.
That has been one of the more successful campaigns. Doing the first customer gold pin campaign.
Yeah,
people go to the stores. They're the first one in the store to get it. We I don't know if anyone knows, we have them redeem them for different comic books or prizes, but also events, so they can turn up. They don't lose their pin. They can turn up, show the pin. It's like a badge of honor. They come
cool.
Drink and eat on us. Very, very alcoholic tiki drinks. Super fun.
That's exciting. So we got some people in the chat. My co-host we have another show which is going to air after this, actually, called Blake and Cole Read a Book. He did your top fan promotion.
Cool.
He did a lot of stuff for you guys. I think,
the fan cup.
Yeah, I think he got second or third place. I don't know. He said he was going to get like a Matt Kent hologram or something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
he got one of the prizes though. He was in the top list. He set a lot of his Bad Idea comics on fire when you guys had him destroy something he loved.
Oh, no.
And he was like feeling good about it. And then that one lady ruined her wedding dress, and all these other people went crazy. But yeah, it was awesome watching Cole. It was like you guys ran him through the fucking gauntlet, and he loved it. He loved every moment of it, and he was posting about it in this Discord we're all in. And of course there were some people that why are you even doing this? But he had fun, and it was a cool, again, you know, as someone who I just recently got hired as like a publicist, and I'm doing like a social media marketing for a studio now, like an indie comic studio, and shout out to Metal Ninja Studios. But I consider myself a pretty good hype guy, right? And I have a good social media presence, and I could not come up with a fingernail's weight of the shit you guys come up with. Like it is mind blowing to me. Like when I'm pitching like social media campaigns to my new boss and thinking of stuff, and I'm just thinking of like the things that you guys did and are doing and continue to do. You guys are marketing geniuses, but you've been in this industry for a long time, so you kind of know the ins and the outs, and you know what you got to do to stick out, and you're doing it, and all power to you. Like what are the struggles? What's the downside to bad idea, right? What's the worst idea?
It's bandwidth. Honestly, everything you're talking about has come. For us, it's a direct lineage from when we all started working together, 2010, 2011, around then we started working together, and we've just distilled and crystallized our process. It's very specific. There's a specific group of people. Now we're just 5 at bad idea. And you really can't have too many, because there's always some a-hole that's going to be like, well, I think that we have a responsibility not to do that. We have a responsibility to try things and not shave edges off. So it's a small team. The process is very democratic. Everyone throws ideas in. There's no such thing as a bad idea. Bad idea will just inspire a good idea, or someone will build on top of it. And that's where we come up with all this stuff. And the downside is simply because there's only 5 of us, the same reason we don't do that much press. There's not enough time. We need to focus on the core aspects of the business. And we've done, I think, what we can to try and make it look like the things we don't do well are on purpose. Not doing press is not because we don't want to do press and promote the books. It's because we don't have the time to do it. But we go out there and people assume that it's because we're kind of rebellious and weird and we don't want to. And that saves us from looking incompetent, which is helpful.
Well, I would never call you guys incompetent.
That team is also the secret sauce, right? Because we all come from different backgrounds, but we also have been working together for most of us for a very long time. And nearly all of us have been working in comics for, most of our adult lives. And for me, that's a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. Adam Freeman, Josh Johns, Anthony Militano, Peter Stern, myself, and we don't really count Bobby. He's lower on the totem pole. But Bobby,
you guys just hired someone fairly recently too, right? Because I was unemployed for a bit, and a couple people sent me your when you guys put out like a marketing or shipment person. You guys were looking for somebody a couple months ago.
We had 3 or 4 open positions, and we brought some people in. And we've some of them. One of them's become a writer for us. In fact, actually, cool. What we find very humbling and also very gratifying is we don't try and trap people in jobs. Almost everybody we've worked with, if not maybe everybody we've worked with, they've moved at Valiant here, wherever they've moved on. We're still very tight with them, and I think a lot of the marketing and promotional things that we do, people say, "How are you able to get that done?" Well, we know that person for years. In fact, we worked with that person before they got that job. So we try and help people say to them, you're really good at this aspect, even though you're doing this job over here for us. Actually, we think you'd be better over here. Let's help you learn those skills. And very quickly, you can make more money than you can here. Let's go help you get that job somewhere else. And they become an ally for us. So people are constantly coming in now. The core stays the same, but we can't help ourselves.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of expected this interview I thought you guys were gonna come in like half crocked and just like screaming and throwing stuff into. I had no idea what to expect, right? But you guys are like super chill. You're like
you eat it. Everything. Bad idea.
I love this. We got some people tuning in. What's up? Chaos of Comics in the house.
Awesome.
The Cole says it was a lot of fun doing the promotion. Yeah, and he did. He went to the shop and it was good. Yeah, it was fun to watch. I thought that was a cool thing you guys did to get both shops and consumers and your fans involved. It
grew like we had no idea.
Yeah, it blew up on social media.
He did he burned some comics. The woman that destroyed her wedding dress did something else first, and I think they escalated. Everyone tried to one-up each other. She did that later on. It's a secondary thing, and it became like, oh my God, we have responsibility with this power. We started sending them in to do nice things to their store. There was one store that had 3 break-ins in 1 month, and we sent everyone over there to try and help them raise money. So we
That's
try
cool.
to change things around a little bit.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that. Again, like the people that badmouth you. I just feel like if they paid attention to what you guys were actually doing, there's not a lot of bad things to say. Like a lot of I said this to
Yeah,
sorry.
don't talk them out of that, Blake. We need them.
Oh yeah, you guys. I know
them
you
out
want,
there.
you want it to. All press is good press, right? Except Blake's buzz. No, I'm kidding. I think I'm pretty good press. You get.
All right, well, we gotta go.
Adam said like my Mac 10 interview. So.
Who wrote that theme song for you?
My friend. I have a buddy who does music, and he did my podcast. He did my intro music for my podcast.
Oh, yeah?
And then he did best $50 I ever spent. He's my music guy.
Catchy.
Thank you. I think I like it too. It's he's my music guy, and anytime he gets stoked because I shout his name out on my social media and stuff, and he jokes about it, but sometimes I worry that he's like mad.
You have not named him yet.
He's in the outro video, like. But Perfect Vision, if you guys want to look him up on like Spotify or anything, he's got some cool tracks. But yeah, he always reminds me, he's like you're my most played music track ever. And, but he's like gigged and stuff in Kansas City and a lot of that. But yeah, it's we were talking about, like, some people that talk about the hoops that you make people jump through, right? And this industry is made of hoops. It's a continuous loophole of loops. It's just like, like there's not, people are like, not every store carries Bad Idea. Not every store carries every indie comic out there, right? Like, and like the weird pre-order game now. And honestly, like when I got Wave 1, I found an out-of-state shop that shipped to me like during quarantine, and that's how I started getting my comics. And I pre-ordered the Wave from them and awesome. Got everything, and it was super easy. The only things that I didn't get were the like the couple of the comics that had like 2 different versions, but you could go on eBay and get them. It wasn't like they were out of touch. I mean, unless like we traveled to a con, you couldn't get like the donut boxes and stuff like that. But
all those stories, we eventually, what we like to say to our fans is, with enough patience, everything will be available in your store. You'll be able to read everything. Sometimes that patience will really make you work for it. Mm-hmm. If you need it now, if you want the collectible version, you're gonna have to jump through some hoops. Sorry.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we've always made it like, it is actually, as you pointed out, actually really simple to just order comics in the same way you order everything else in your life. Mm-hmm. Or there are certain people like Cole who enjoy the process, who enjoy the hype, enjoy like being part of something more. And I think that for them, saying that, those hoops are a bad thing, it takes away their joy. It takes away their participation and community. So there's you guys have a couple Facebook, not they're not official Bad Idea Facebook groups, but there's a couple Bad Idea like fan groups, and there's always like a couple people that pop in and want to show their ass, right, and talk about how terrible everything is, and like you guys said, it prompts a ton of engagement, and they get like dog piled on, and everybody's like, why are you in the fan group if you're not a fan? But it's so funny because
there's one that no one believes is not us secretly, and to be honest, I don't know that we believe it's not one of us not telling the rest of us.
I'm still not entirely convinced that it's not Dinesh.
Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to be my own troll for my new social media accounts that I run.
Yes. I wish we thought of it. We would have done it.
And spark a bunch of drama. But there's been that big like digital versus physical debate for a long time, right? And I used to be very, very much into, I was a physical purist until I got into comic book press, and like until now, like 2 years into it, people do send me stuff sometimes, but primarily all my review copies come digitally as a PDF. I mean, and that's the name of the game. And so I actually got used to digital comics, and now with like Marvel and DC streaming apps and stuff, like I kind of like digital, but it was funny because in one of the groups someone was just going off about how you are all the worst because you refuse to do digital copies and and I'm just like, man, like if that's not a change of pace, like it used to be like digital's trash, we shouldn't have to read this, and now they're mad at you because you don't do digital. Like you just can't win with everybody.
No, and that's part of why we are the way we are. You literally can't win. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone, and wonderful. Everyone's got their own point of view on how they read, how they sell, whatever they do. You can't find anything that's going to get everyone on board. So lean into the fact that people are on board. We made the choice of digital very simply. We found that digital led to a lot of piracy, which led to a lot of lost sales for us, for the stores, etc. We want to be a company that is the in-store physical experience. We think there's something tactile about that and wonderful. And also digital, as much as the technologies come forward, it doesn't replicate the artistry of the physical product. You need to be able to see the entire page in your field of vision to understand what the artist is doing in terms of composition. When you break it up to even 3/4 of a page or panel by panel, you lose some of the subtle storytelling, and we're just snobs about that, I think, a little bit.
See, I am too, but that's why I bought a giant tablet. I have a 12.5-inch tablet. So you get you get the full page if it's regular. If it's a double page spread, you can cock it sideways and you get it, but it shrinks it a little. But I mean, but not everybody can buy a $800 to $1,000 tablet.
You're the first person I've ever met that has a 12-inch tablet. The first.
But that's just
that statement almost went into a different realm. You're the first person I ever met with a 12-inch tablet. But the other one would have been a lot.
BTE? You've heard of BTE, right?
Yeah.
As he was saying earlier, it's also about controlling the experience for the fan, right? I mean, yes, we can't decide if you're going to be looking at it on a phone or a 12-inch tablet, but we can decide that the paper is going to feel a certain way. That it's going to feel, you're going to tactily, when you pick it up, it's going to give you, and we spend a lot of time and energy and money, frankly, making sure that experience is what we need it to be. It's also why we work with destination stores, is so that we can really define what that experience is when you go into the shop. We say, if you want to be a Bad Idea destination store, here are a few guidelines you have to follow, because we want our fans to actually have the same kind of experience when they buy the stuff. So it's, it is that you've really kind of hit on it, is that for us, it's about presenting these comics in the best possible light, because we work really hard to make them good.
Now, I remember when you guys put out, I have a friend who works in a comic shop. And so I got privy to see some emails that y'all sent. Right. And some of the stipulations and stuff. Okay, cool. And I was like, and nothing was that crazy. I mean, I'm sure if Image wished that they could email a shop and be like, I want you to put all our comics in a special display, as close to the entrances, just something.
It's Marvel, DC, and they've all asked, how do you? We print now. It's not even hidden. We printed all the rules, that email you're talking about, as a poster, and sent it to every one of our stores for this last slate. They've all got
nice.
So everyone, they can point to it and say, it's not us, it's Bad Idea. You can't get more than one copy. Sorry.
And now you guys, have you still only banned one shop? Was it because I remember that there was that one shop that got banned for pulling some fuckery?
I think there's 3 now. We really try not to. We call them and we say, hey, you're breaking a rule, and then we try to give them a second chance. And initially there was one store, I think the one you're thinking of, day one, their whole plan was to just, I'm not going to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, it's cool, just follow the rules from now on. No, as long as you let me in here, I'll never follow the rules. Okay, well then you're out. You're not giving us a choice here.
Yeah. So I remember that echoed throughout the community. People were like, oh shit, they're serious. I was like, good, man. Cause I hate the speculator market. I do. It aggravates me. Especially I collect omnibuses, right? And when the pandemic first hit, I found retail therapy, and that helped me cope with my shitty existence of being trapped in a house working from home. And I had all this extra money because we weren't going out and doing anything. So I got into collecting omnibuses, and if you didn't buy them right away, they would sell out, and then you'd have to buy them for 150, 200 something bucks on eBay if you really wanted it. And it just sucks, man. And and to see that happen all the time, and people go in with and buy up all these variants and issues. And so I liked that you guys tried to put a halt to that. We're not going to let you buy the whole stack out of the store and then sell them from a third party and get whatever you want. I liked that you championed that notion of the community.
We tried to make it harder. You can't stamp it out, and there are positives to it as well when done right. We just tried to push it further downstream to make it harder. But some of the things we tried to do to stamp it out actually ended up fueling it. And so we've been rethinking some of those, like saying one per customer. Really, they went like, there was a catnip for them. People turn up with literally like costumes, people waiting outside in parking lots, asking people, hey, will you go in, buy me a copy, bringing their wives and kids. We've had every story you can imagine. We've heard.
That's crazy. Shout out to Comics by the Bay. Thanks for tuning. I'm having trouble, like the chat's popping off, like trying to like listening to you guys and keeping up with the chat. Cole says we're back to the best fan. Some dude threw his dad's ashes out.
We felt so terrible. Some of the things people did, we were like, oh, we're horrible people. We thought people would just say, oh, here's a mug, it's very important to me, and they'd smash it, but they bought it that morning. And initially it became that, and then people were like, no, it must be valuable.
Yeah. It caught on like wildfire. No, you guys are trendsetters. That's how it should be. I'm just glad no one offered up like their firstborn son. Like it wasn't like Abraham walking his son up to the fucking hill with a knife in his hand. Like, wait.
I think if it was more than a 24-hour campaign, someone would have got
someone might have went there.
Quickly.
We can have another kid, and we don't know when we're going to get another gold pin, guys. Like, I need more rocks. I need more fucking rocks. Tim, I'm glad you finally got to tune in live too. We got time differences are a deal. You know, it's let's see. We got what is happening? Oh yeah, no, I didn't name the shop, so that's fine. Like I only shared minor secrets.
We've been able to figure out who is show. We've done some serious like, deep investigation. Yes, exactly. Forensic investigation and whose shop it is. It's the problem. So if we wanted to know, Blake, we would know.
It's so powerful. I don't have air conditioning in this garage, and you just sent shivers down my spine.
You're so powerful, Adam. How did you handle it? 8 inches? That's woo.
You should have seen how I like printed off your email and basically hung it on my fucking refrigerator when you emailed me too. Like I was like, guys, they don't do press. I was like, they've never fucking talked to anybody. They want to talk to me and send me comments. I was like, this is it. I've been legitimized. I've made it. Like Blake's Buzz is real now. I was like, first Matt Kent, now Bad Ideas. Like, yeah, the world can't fucking stop me.
We're done. We're announcing our retirement on this show. No more. This is it.
Speaking of retirement, that was also a weird deal. How after Wave 1, when you guys were like, fuck with this, we're not doing it anymore. And then until like the Wave 2 announcement. And I also I kind of like that too. It reminded me of like those prima donna rock bands who like always break up with it. They're like, I can't deal with the lead singer's shit anymore. Right. And like, there's like you and your groupies and your fucking all green M&Ms. Like, I don't care about you. And it was just like, it had that kind of like rock star mentality, but cool. What are you going to like, you can't do that again. I mean, you guys can't quit after every wave, right?
There's so many things we can do. No, our plan was to be seasonal. We're a seasonal publisher because the number one thing you can give to any creative endeavor to make it better is time, right? Time to cook the story, time to develop it, time for the artist, time to do the coloring, time to tweak it, time to print it. That's the most important thing. Rushing in any kind of creative endeavor is going to mean a reduction in quality. So we thought to ourselves, since we're building this from scratch, we can do whatever we want. Why do we have to be publishing all the time? Let's build the books, make sure they're great, announce them and sell them in that order, as opposed to come up with the books, announce them, build them. Oh my God, we run out of time, put them out. One of the things we thought about is how can we get people to pay attention? And we're also as much, I think, a kind of a commentary, a live parody on the entire industry and all the things that we're all partaking in ourselves as well. And this idea that we're going to go away and comic book business going out of business or people not working out, wanting to work together. We just like making fun of it all, man. So we didn't think it would catch on. We weren't even sure people would believe us. We thought people would just be like, these guys are idiots. And believe this. And we're like, great, we'll run with it. And then we get to make a triumphant return, and it was awesome.
We're also all of us giant comics nerds and comics industry nerds. Like legitimately, just before I got on here, I was organizing my comics retailer magazine collection. Like that's just who we are. And so all of this stuff is just us playing. A lot of it is just us playing with stuff we've seen over and over again, so much that they are tropes, but people don't think of them as tropes. They just think of them as industry news. To us, They're almost a genre in and of itself.
What do you guys kind of think about that? Like the kind of harsh environment of indie comics right now, like where, I mean, looking at like IDW and Aftershock and the weirdness going on, and you know the numbers game that a lot of people talk about, and a lot of creators are worried about their books getting caught in limbo if something bad happens, and meanwhile, like, you know, you guys aren't having that problem, and I mean, a part of that is you got a 5-man crew, but I mean, you're still able to pay your creatives to do things kind of your own way, and like, you know, with whatever people say about you, whether praising or critiquing, the fact that you've now survived in this industry where others are failing, I mean, I think that kind of speaks for itself. I don't want to like make light of like, there's a lot of great people at IDW, and some like friends lost their jobs, and I was like, so it was a bummer, but I mean, there's got to be some kind of good commentary here for other people to learn from Bad Idea, how to stay afloat in these troublesome times, like, you know, whether it's crowdfunding, or like you guys said, like taking a break, prepping the product, getting it ready to roll out, you know, instead of like crushing everyone with deadlines and the weight of that stress. But I mean, have you guys kind of thought about that, how some of this like maybe started as a joke, or a way to, you know, like a trope, or just, you know, you guys being on brand, but how this has made you successful in other senses?
It's very purposeful. Partly we're a little responsible for our, you know, our ego is not that big that we think we're responsible for it. But when we launched Valiant, we launched in a way that was very counter to the traditional wisdom for how to launch a publishing company. And we were very loud and very marketing centric. And we had only one book the first month, 4 books was our first slate. The conventional wisdom was do 10 books, each one 99 cents, see which one takes off, lean into that. Don't say superhero, don't say universe, don't embrace the 90s, don't embrace the history. We did the opposite. And I think that created a template for a lot of people to follow. I know, for instance, Aftershock very much was following the Valiant template. And part of our template also was, because Valiant had that history of going away, we needed to give everyone the comfort that we were going to be around for a long time. And so we were very buttoned up. We had big executive announcements. We had big presence at conventions to continually show everyone, we're here, we're stable, don't worry. And I think that permeated the indie world, where they're doing that over and over again. Hey, we're corporate, we're here. And I think they go too far. I think they're spending too much money, and they've got nice offices and too much staff and too many conventions, and they do San Diego Comic-Con, and that's a huge expense. We do a party. That's it. I've never done a booth at San Diego Comic-Con, Valiant or Bad Idea. We've never done. It's not worth the money.
That's like $6,000 or $7,000 or something, or more, isn't it? Something crazy like that. Wow.
It's 6 figures. It's a 6-figure commitment. It's more like $250,000 is what you've got a budget for San Diego, between travel, the inventory, the whole thing. I don't want to get into it, but the whole thing. We've never done it because we've never figured out how to make that worthwhile and cut through the noise. San Diego's a hard place to cut through the noise. Our party allows us to do B2B stuff.
Sorry,
it's like blink if I fucking kidnapped you guys. Thanks, Chaos.
Yeah, I'm watching you. Yeah, you're the first ones to think of Bad Idea NFTs. Congratulations, guys, you did it. You broke it.
But you guys watched the Matt Kent interview when I brought up the NFT. He was like, Blake, I don't want to talk about that. I was like, I'm sorry.
It's going to be Matt some years before you can say the words NFT. Right? Like a week later, I was like, do an MFT, do a Matt Fungible, and he was like, don't talk to me. No, but I think those companies, I think they follow that model, and we very purposely try to build a brand in which, if we don't do San Diego, no one's thinking they're going out of business. They're thinking these guys don't give a shit. They'll do whatever they want. And our plan has been to slowly grow. We're now starting to do some conventions. We'll grow and we'll be a little more corporate, but I don't think we'll ever lose that feeling of we'll do whatever we want. If it doesn't make sense, we're not going to do it. We don't care if it looks bad or whatever. Yeah,
because every time you add, I mean, you know, I had some friends at IDW also that were in that call. But every time you see a team like that, you also see, as you pointed out, this like crush to constantly be shipping product, just crushing your editorial, crushing your creators. And you have to constantly be pushing on your retailers. You have to move this product for us. In this particular instance, we knew that. We've done that. I mean, I've done that for other publishers. We're not doing that here because we didn't want that kind of company. We also didn't want that kind of product. We wanted to be able to really focus on stuff we're proud of.
What's amazing, though, I just realized what's amazing is if we ever got to that place and we were like, oh my God, we're idiots and we're irresponsible and we're going to bankrupt the company and we're over. And the news came out, I don't think anyone would believe it.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They'd be like, okay, see you in a few months. And you guys are all like crying in the corner, like, no,
It'd be like,
it's really done, guys.
Be great.
Do you guys remember? I was kind of excited about this too, but there was a rumor for a while that all of this was so that you guys could like raise enough money to buy Valiant back. Like, did you guys ever hear any of that? Like, I was like, and especially now, like, it's, you know, now like too, like they've mentioned that they were kind of hurting too, you know, and it's just like, I kind of was like, I kind of thought that would be cool. Like, just bring it all into the bad idea, like umbrella. But I mean,
it'd be wonderful if it ever came up. We'd be right there in the fight. I think some big corporation's going to come get it.
Yeah,
huge library. It's got tremendous value. But yeah, we'd be scrappy. We'd try for it. Great characters.
Yeah,
Speaking of, I see the unity right there. I see you, Blake.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's when I got back into like going back into comic shops a lot. Like you know, college days and like when I started having like money too, you know, to like, you know, I was working in a bar and stuff, but yeah, that Valiant relaunch with like Bloodshot and that's how I found out my first foray with Robert Venditti was EXO and like that run and like, dude, all that stuff was so great and it's so cool and then and yeah, I was getting that EXO was on my pull list and so just really some great stuff
for us. He's got a book for us that it's a submarine book. That's what we just call the submarine book internally, but it's almost done. It's the best thing I think he's ever written. I mean, it feels to us like this big right hook ace that we have up our sleeve. I'm very excited. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. It's awesome.
That's cool. He's coming on the show on the 22nd, I think. Him and Brock. I want
to see him freeze up and be like, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I definitely will. Now I'll be like, so Dinesh said you could spill the details. Give me a little exclusive.
You got Brockton also?
Yeah, they're doing that new book together. They're coming on. Yeah, so I gotta
spend the whole time asking Brockton about the Bad Idea videos because he's the guy who put those together.
They did the tank together.
Every promo he cuts all of our videos.
That weird kind of throwback style, that sardonic humor. He's the man responsible. Whenever we have a theme song, he writes all the theme songs.
Oh wow!
Voiceovers, cuts everything. He's super talented.
Yeah, he was on a long time ago, him and Dave when Jenny Zero dropped. And like again, like the way creators like make you feel special, right? Dave hits me up on Twitter and he's like, Blake, I kind of like your show. Like, you want to have us on to talk Jenny Zero? And I'm like, I look up Jenny Zero and I'm like, oh fuck, that's coming out from Dark Horse. I was like, this dude just asked me. And I was like, yeah, because back then, like I wasn't used to that, right? Back like when this all started, I was like under the impression that I had to like beg or like buy like everybody's book on Amazon and take a picture of it and tag them and then be like, hey, I bought all your books. You want to come on my show and talk about like, you know,
and you run a professional ship. People are very comfortable to come on here.
Well, thank you. I don't think everybody believes that, but I'll take it.
It's all the theme song.
It's all that theme song, man.
Buzz. After that, you're in a nice, warm, cool place, right? This is like you're like, all right, these are the vibes. These are the vibes I was waiting for. I'm gonna tell my buddy that about what I was like, man, like these guys, like they kept talking about my show, but they kept talking about your fucking music. You stole the show. You're like, I didn't even get a word in.
We don't know his name yet. It's not even his first name. We got one shout out to the.
Not giving that up, man. Not giving that up.
His name's Zach. But
Zach. That was because of us. Bad idea to get credit for that shout out. I'm into it.
Zach with perfect vision. And I think perfect vision is a one word. I got to double check on that. But yeah, anyway, so Brock, I saw the video with him and Robert in the tanks and Brock came on the show and we were like, oh dude, we're going to corner him. We're going to ask him about Bad Idea. Cause it was very vague then. Like no one knew anything. Yeah. I don't even know if any books had been out yet.
Right.
And like, and so we were like, Brock, like what's up on Bad Idea, man? Like, and he was like, I just make some videos, guys. I don't know anything about the comics. And we were like, all right, fine.
I think I have one of the shell casings around here somewhere that came out of that tank.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
did the package video.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, you're a cool. Your employers are cool when they like throw you in a tank and let you just go on a rampage.
Oh, you
Like,
think that's how that happened? No. He pitched it to us. We were like, let us see. And then he's like, no. I already shot it. Here it is. I guess we don't have a choice here. He didn't wait. He loved the idea. He didn't wait for us to say yay or nay. He just went and did it.
Yeah.
And of course, we loved it. It was amazing.
yeah, it was
Awesome.
how could you not? Like that's like how great of a promo is that? Like, and then to like segue that into the actual comic that comes out, where it's like these fucking monsters just annihilate, or these mechs annihilating dinosaurs, like,
Yeah.
which I love dinosaurs. I was like, I was a little I was like, man, I was like, but then I was like, I loved the destruction and the chaos, and it was amazing.
You're on Team
We're
Dinosaur.
moving books for you guys.
Nice.
Someone just ordered a full run of ENIAC. That was there you go.
Thanks.
Zach from Perfect. Maybe I will get him on the show one day. He did say that he listens sometimes at work. He works at a dispensary.
Live.
I should bring him on.
I'll
I'll have to talk to him. I'll have to see what he thinks about it. He works in the shadows. He doesn't really work in the shadows, but I don't know. Maybe next time he has a gig, I'll have him on like before he does like a live gig, and then we can like shout it out.
Yeah.
For all my, because I have like 2 people from my audience that are in Kansas City, I think. So that like everybody travel to Kansas City, go to this club. It's gonna be great. Get some barbecue.
Are you in Kansas City? I didn't know you're in Kansas City. I'm gonna be there in
When?
like 14 days, 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're doing the Spider-Man exhibit, the Beyond Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, at Union Station. I want to go to that really bad.
Yeah, I've got you should. It's amazing. They've expanded it as well, I hear. I've got some pieces in there, so I'm going out to see it.
Oh, cool.
And
That's
Matt
awesome.
Kent might be there too. Adam might come out too. We should. All the audience is bored now, but we should figure out. We should get together.
Yeah, but if you guys want to hang out with me in Kansas City, you let me know.
The one thing I'm gonna just double down on this. The one thing I've been told. Let me see. Someone texted me today, and they're like, "We have to go to this one restaurant. You can tell me if it's a tourist trap or not. It is called. It's a barbecue place.
Mm-hmm.
It's called.
They don't have barbecue in Kansas City. What are you talking about?
Joe's Barbecue.
Yeah, Casey Joe's. That's the jam. Yeah,
that's it.
That's
way better than barbecue, right? Anthony Bourdain says 20 places to eat before you die. It's one of the 20.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's
funny.
Texas barbecue, Adam.
It used to be called Oklahoma Joe's for a long time, which a lot of us Kansas Cityans thought was odd because like this award-winning barbecue joint in Kansas City was called Oklahoma Joe's, but they changed it to KC Joe's. But yeah, it's great. It's great food. And like what you really want to do is like they have great sandwiches. So like, I mean, you can get solid barbecue sandwiches, but like one of the best things about Kansas City is our burnt ends. Like, cause we kind of did that. We made brisket sexier. And so like, if you can get the burnt ends, they sell out sometimes. So it kind of depends on like what day you go, but that's what you got to try and get. It's like these fucking meat nuggets, man. Steve Orlando, when he was on the show, he was talking about Jason Aaron taking him out for barbecue at one of the Comic-Cons here way back. And Steve said he's been like, since then, he's just wanted to come back to Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Because he's like, I need those meat sweats. He was like, dude, like Jason Aaron had me sweating from all this meat, but he was like, you can't get that anywhere else, man. And he started talking about burn ends. And I was just like, it's like, man, small world. That's cool. But yeah.
From LA, you can't get that here. Adam's from Texas. Can't get that in Texas.
Man, that's crazy.
Don't even start. Don't even start. He knows I'm a little religious about Texas barbecue, and I'm not leaning in right now. I'm showing a little restraint in correcting some of the statements that you've made. But you know what? I'm sure it is delicious. I cannot wait to taste it. How's that?
No, Texas has good barbecue. Texas, Tennessee, St. Louis. I'll admit, even St. Louis is okay. Even though, like, when we talk about barbecue and baseball, we're supposed to always hate St. Louis. But yeah, there's good food everywhere, and there's bad food everywhere. Like I'm not, like if I was in Texas, I wouldn't. And someone gave me like a big plate of ribs, I wouldn't spit on it, right? I'd be like, I'm gonna eat these fucking ribs.
We do brisket. I mean, I want to say better than anybody, but I don't want to fight. I want to talk about love. I'm really here for you, Blake. I want
well, thank you. No, I
tell you how wrong you are, but I'm not going to.
You got the win. He's not going to spit on it. That's
yeah. So I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna spit on it, even if it doesn't fit. Oh, sorry. Anyway, no.
It'll be dry. There's not enough spit in the world to make Texas barbecue not dry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get Adam going.
You're not doing it. You're not doing it.
Adam's just-
Well, let's talk about megaliths, shall we? Look at this.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a Kickstarter. Did we mention that?
you guys know you got this Kickstarter going. Now, I admit it's look at how I just had that ready to go, man. Talking about a
Amazing.
professional host.
Oh,
I know you guys are struggling here. You're kind of at the plateau. We're at $276,000. We're just kind of waiting for more backers. I mean, not even 1,200 yet. And you haven't even been live like a whole week, or just coming up to the week. Are you guys doing okay? You feel this is a struggle? For you?
I mean, really, we're blown away by the response. It's been nuts, man. The book is without a doubt the most beautiful book any of us have been involved in.
Beautiful.
The story is insane. It matches the artistry of the book. Laura Martin is on colors. She's the absolute greatest of all time in terms of coloring. No one even touches her. And we've got Ringo, this year's Ringo Award winner for best letterer, Taylor Esposito is lettering. Plus, we've got a who's who of like Joe Quesada is helping us out with work on. We've got this whole expanded megalith universe. I should say codename megalith because we haven't revealed the actual name of this entire saga that we're working on. That's a big reveal coming up.
Interesting.
Lenio Francis Yu, James Harron, Nico Soyan. I can't remember some of the others we haven't announced yet. I don't want to blow any announcements yet, but there's a bunch of people of that caliber. We're just excited, man.
When you guys are pitching out to creatives,
we do these shows occasionally, and generally speaking, I will slip up and do something really dumb, and Dinesh gets to correct me. So I want to take this moment to say you didn't mention Louis LaRosa.
No, I did at the top. You didn't hear it. I started with that. I said Lewis's pages are.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. Louis LaRosa doing his opus, his masterwork with this. I mean, it's incredible. It's taken 5 years of production to get this book ready to go.
Wow.
And if you scroll down, you can see some of those pages are just phenomenal. They're mind blowing.
What's up, Manny? Good to have you. Yeah, I unfortunately the bummer is the price tag that comes with this book, which I mean I get it. It's almost an omnibus in size. It's a hard, I know you're doing some special page weights and stuff with what's going on, but I think like the regular the hardcover is like 125 or so. Like if you want that.
It's a hardcover package. You get the 125, you get the hardcover, but you also get all the other stuff that's in that package.
And then this will also be in the direct market too, right? But in singles?
It is. So we've got the $40 tier where you get Joe Quesada, Megalith Zero. It's got the big fight. It's awesome. It's like a fight you've never seen before in comics. They've really gone way overboard with it. 125 gets you the entire story, all of Megalith by Matt Kinnon and Louis LaRosa, all the expanded stuff, all the black and white art. So it's an artist edition as well. So that's why it's priced that way. But this whole campaign, the goal of this campaign is the book by Louis LaRosa and Matt Kinnon is so beautiful that we wanted to do a treatment beyond anything that single issue comics have done before, something to match the artistry and vision that they've brought to the creative of the book. And we looked around, we talked internally, and we figured that Marvel's, the acetate covers for the Alex Ross book, were perhaps the most luxurious single issue we've ever seen. We want to top that. We've been working with printers for about 6 months. We've got a process to top that. It's financially irresponsible. So we did this Kickstarter as a way to fund our irresponsibility when this book eventually hits stores as single issues. So we've got this. This helps fund that. If you want to wait, eventually it'll be in stores, Bad Idea Destination stores, with the single issues.
Okay. Yeah, this art is every piece of art and page I've seen of this comic is just absolutely unreal. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, the story, Matt as well has gone like, both of them have gone absolutely nuts. The premise behind this book was what happens, we talked about time being the ultimate factor. What happens when you say unlimited time and unlimited budget? What can you do? Louis spends about 6 weeks a page in terms of rendering and laying it out. To give you a sense, books meant to come out 22, 26 pages in a month. So 6 weeks per page. Matt did the same thing in terms of the world building. He just deep dived. The mechanism for the big fight in the third act is just I'm so excited for that one. We haven't got that lettered yet, but I'm really excited about that. Yeah, and we've got all sorts of stuff here. There's the smaller tiers We've got a big megalith toy, a vinyl toy in here. Lewis has never done a commission list. He's just too popular and too slow in terms of the way he does his art. So we managed to convince him to do a bunch of original art sketches here. I think that
Wow.
tier might have sold out, though. I think now you can only get those if you go a tier higher. We still have a
Okay.
couple left in the higher tiers. But yeah, we're excited. We're excited about this one. It's going to be something really, really, really special.
I am too. Like I'm thinking about selling plasma. Like I want to do some. I want this fucking book. Like I'm not gonna lie. But unfortunately, like I've been unemployed for a couple months, and like I said, I'm doing some freelance stuff and working with Kickstarters. But like what I'm finding out now, I've never done freelance. I've always had like a direct deposit paycheck from like some terrible fucking office job or when I was like a bouncer or whatever, like just regular paychecks. And so now I'm doing, like when I'm doing these like Kickstarter jobs, it's like, 1 month of pre-launch, 1 month of campaign, a little bit of money up front, a little bit of money at the end. And so now I'm like balancing that budget now, and I'm like, oh wow, we gotta do things totally different. And but yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way. I might sell my dog. I'm just kidding.
Don't sell your dog. Listen, don't worry about it. When this campaign is over, you will never be able to get this hardcover ever again, and that's okay.
You'll find ways to deal with that. Like probably heavy drinking. Is my guess. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of self-abuse. Would be my guess. Yeah.
At least depression can be fun. No, I mean, no offense to anybody. Sorry.
It's all right. I think if you start right now selling the rest of your collection, you'd be able to get this.
Yeah,
no question.
I do have that Ultimate Fallout 4 and first appearance of Spider Gwen sitting around somewhere. But all those prices went down. Like I was holding on to them because they were like, oh, when that new Spider-Verse movie comes out, these are going to blow up on the market and go up in price. And it did the opposite. Like the market got flooded and everybody bought them that wanted them now. And now they're, Ultimate Fallout. I saw that selling for like ungraded for like $600, $700 a pop sometimes. And now it's down to like 400, 500, maybe even 350, depending on the condition. So
the whole market is, we saw such an uplift during the lockdown. You will have no problem. Those are marquee books. Ultimate Fallout 4 might be the marquee book of its generation. Yeah. You just got to write it out. It'll be back and it'll shoot up again. I don't know if it'll be time to the movie or after, but 2 years from now, you're going to be like, oh my God, this book is setting records. Same with that. What is that? Edge of Spider-Verse 2? Is that the first Spider-Gwen?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. The only thing that's I peeled the digital code sticker because I didn't know that shit was going to be like $1 million later on. I guess CGC knocks you like I heard like 0.2 or something, or they'll put it on the tab they'll print it saying like sticker peeled or something, like this asshole did that. Just so you know,
you have to be careful getting that 12-inch iPad, man. It's just too great.
The cost of the digital. Now we're coming up. These are some of the more expensive tiers. There's one though. There's so many expensive tiers. Here's like the original art stuff you were talking about.
Tier up is more expensive.
That's how it goes.
This is the figure, right?
Yeah, that's the real figure. We're doing 50 of those, and I think we've got 25 of the artist proofs that we're using to make the figure. And then
this one's pretty cool. I like this. This reminds me of I'm a big Tool fan, and the last Tool album they put out had like the disc like case had a screen and a speaker and played like a video and had a rechargeable battery so that you
really?
Yeah, but it's similar to what you guys have done with this box here with the screen that play. I was like, so that's pretty cool. I thought that was a good idea.
But the premium home exhibition case is actually going to have a specific to you. So when you buy this, one of the creators is going to have a video message for Blake.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And that's how 1,000. All right, that's worth 1,000.
More is fuck you, Blake. Didn't you have anything better to do with 1,000?
Yeah, I thought you told the guys you were broke on the live stream, and then you dropped $1,000 on this. You fucking weirdo! Like
the hardcovers only.
Student loans don't need any more money. It's fine.
Doing with 1,000. Yeah.
And then this one, and then this man, you guys make me wish I had fuck you money. I just like, my dad doesn't own a dealership, or like we don't have like a boat dock or anything. Like
these aren't for everybody. I mean, there's only a handful of people that are going to get these. That's why he says plus everything else. If you scroll up a little bit, I'll show you. It says plus everything else. So you get the regular toy, the AP toy, the original.
Yeah, you get a lot
art,
of stuff here.
all these. I mean, it's a whole. You're getting. I mean, God knows how the shipping's going to work, but we're going to have to put giant boxes together. But it's not meant for everybody. The lower tiers are meant for everybody. These are for people that are, they're baller or they're irresponsible, one or the other, or both.
Or
Have
cold.
you guys gotten any? Okay, this is the one that everybody's talking about, right?
Yeah.
The gibberish tier, which someone was talking to you, Dinesh, online, and they mentioned that they like cracked this code.
Few people have.
They were like, "Oh, I figured it out," and I'm like, "What the? Like, I'm just not smart." Which I guess it doesn't matter because even if I figured it out, I don't have $10,000.
No, it's not $10,000. So that's one thing that we're moving fast. We wanted to put at the $10,000 tier so it wouldn't be in the waterfall of other tiers. So we wanted to be the last one, but it has nothing to do with $10,000.
Oh,
what it really is you do something specific in action and you get something, but you've got to crack this code to do it. And a bunch of people have. I can give you a clue. Let me think about a clue here. You ignore the lowercase letters. Okay. So just look at the uppercase letters, and then A equals B is the beginning. There's 3 ciphers you need in order to crack this. So I've just given you like 1.5.
Wow.
But it's very simple. You can spend very little money. You can spend a lot of money, whatever you want to do. And this one's exciting because you're going to get something pretty special.
Interesting. But now whatever happens now, you guys have reached the point where it's going to hit the direct market because like after this campaign fund or everything's good. Like you guys are at the spot. Did you guys know it was going to blow up like this?
No. We funded in 3 minutes. That would not have been our plan at all to fund in 3 minutes. We thought maybe we were foolish. Maybe we're not. We're new to Kickstarter. We're new to this whole world. So perhaps we're still learning, but we weren't sure we were going to get there at the end of the campaign. We've got a tier in here that's $10,000 for a piece of art. We thought, maybe, fingers crossed. We'll see.
So
we have had a lot of people call and ask about original art. There's a couple of Hollywood filmmakers that love Louis LaRosa's art, and they've been snapping all this stuff up for years. All his art is almost everything. He's got some stuff left, and we're talking to him about, can we do something for the fans? So we'll figure that out. We'll try and figure that out.
Well, that's cool. It's been an interesting Kickstarter to watch. Just like, I've also, because I do a lot of work with like, the regular Kickstarter people, right? Like it's people shooting for like 4,000, 6,000, and some people have gotten like mad at you guys, and they're like they're stealing the market. They're pulling the rug out from under everybody's feet. But I don't think that's the case. Like that's one of the beautiful things about Kickstarters. There's a market for everybody. There's something for everybody. And it's not, even with as crowded as Kickstarter is right now, it's still, basically what's getting in everybody's way right now is the algorithm. Just because so many people are on Kickstarter, the platform's blowing up, and there's so many comics there. That's the hard part is sticking out. It's not about like, is there enough money to go around, for everybody?
I'm going into our dashboard. There's a figure in here somewhere that tells me how many people are first time ever Kickstarter backers. I want to say the last time I looked, it was something like 50% of the backers of this campaign.
Oh, wow.
I can't find it right now.
A lot of your core audience has just come over to follow you all on Kickstarter, basically.
Yeah, and we saw that this is our second Kickstarter. We did a Stop Bad Idea Kickstarter for a Hero Trade hardcover, and that was 60% were brand new. So that 60% have come back. They don't count again as first-time backers. And then now of this 1,200, roughly 1,200, 600 are first-time backers. And I think that must be our people. It must also be Lewis's people. People like Joe Quesada, Lenniel, they haven't done anything in this ecosystem before. So I think they're sending people here as well. I can't find this number right now.
And then, and then you got, when you look at like Matt does a lot of stuff on Kickstarter too. So he's got an audience that's already here that's going to follow him, as well as a direct market audience that's probably going to follow him too. Cause I mean, he's all his new Flux House stuff at Dark Horse. Like he's Mr. Popularity right now, as he deserves to be. He's killing it. But yeah, you guys got a lot of good things going for you. And one of the good things about Bad Idea that I've noticed since the beginning is like there's no short of talent. You guys, like you've got a great eye for art and storytelling and writers, editors, letters. Like you bring in the top tier crew with the shenanigans that you guys have pulled. Like, have any creators ever been like, I don't know, guys, or like, have you ever had to like?
I've got a great story for you. I've got an amazing
Nice.
story. I really want to out him and tell you his name. I'm not going to do that. We had a writer artist duo that came in together right before New York Comic Con last year. And last year we did this Stop Bad Idea thing where we had our fans come and picket. We gave them picket signs. They picketed us. It was Stop Bad Idea. You got stuff. And the writer came up to us at the end of the first day, and he's like laughing his ass off. And we're like, "What's up?" And he's like, "The artist." I won't name him. The artist came up to me at Artist Alley, and he was like, "What the hell did you get me into?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "That new company we did that story for, man. People really hate those guys. Really, they do? Why? People picketing them." And he's like, no, they're picketing themselves. He's like, what? What does that even mean? They're asking their fans to picket them, to pretend that it's not them, so that they get press about being picketed. And he's like, they're morons. And he's like, yes, people don't hate them, but they are morons. I heard the story, I went straight to the artist, and I was like, man, people really hate us. And he's like, fuck you, man. You weren't.
My favorite part about that is we built all those picket signs. We had our fans just showed up. We said, here, go walk the floor, let people know. And because that was also for a Kickstarter called Stop Bad Idea. And so they were out there walking around, and Reed Pop, the people who run New York Comic Con, tried to shut us down. They were really angry. And we said, oh yeah, go ahead, shut us down, please. Yeah.
They're like, no, we don't want that headline. You guys would love that shit.
Wow.
No, we haven't had that. We've been surprised. We're always nervous how people are going to feel. People like Dada, Lanil, like all these giant names are coming in. James Harron, and they seem to be totally cool with Quesada. Even he did a cover for us for Hero Trade. Joe did, and then like 3 weeks later, he sent us a revised version. He's like, "Hey, is this useful to you?" And it's the same one, but the guy's arms chopped off. That's part of the story. There's blood everywhere. It looks awesome. And we're like, yeah, this would be great. And he's like, cool, on the house, no worries about it.
Wow.
And he's 3 weeks later, he's just thinking about us and thinking about how he can like lean into the shenanigans that we do. I think people just want to have fun. I think a lot of creators want to have fun. And we look, we've got great writers. We do work really, we've got a very specific democratic editorial process that I think really helps the stories. So people really do respond to the scripts that we send them, and we give them time and we pay well. So there's not really a reason not to be excited about what we're doing. And we've certainly found that. We've got more than a couple. We've got some names of people that, despite the ones we've talked about, that even for us, we're like, I can't believe we're working with these people. Some that we're saving the announcements till later, but there's 2 in particular that just blow us away, that we were able to start working with people of that caliber.
Do you reach out to them, or is it like a mixture of like people coming to you wanting to work with you, or you guys just like reaching out to like the dream team and seeing who follows suit?
It's everything you can imagine. We do reach out a lot. But it's project specific, right? Hey, here's something that we think you'd be perfect for. We'd have that conversation. People do reach out to us. What happens mostly, though, actually, is people we work with will say to their friends, I just worked with these guys. They're awesome. Oh. Let me introduce you. So we get that a lot. So every time we get someone like a Quesada, then they give us, Quesada brought Richard Asanoff in. And now Asanoff is one of the best colors in the business, doing a bunch of stuff with us. So it's become a snowball effect that way. And I think it's just, we try to be cool. We try to just do the best work and be supportive and work hard. And it's not a surprise. It's just, be cool, respond quickly. Don't try and be assholes. Don't crush people. Pay well. It's just the usual stuff you'd expect. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, especially the paying part. Well, or getting paid at all. That's what the one bummer about everything that I do now is getting to know so much more about this industry and how cutthroat it can be, and how creatives can get left in the dust, and how like unimportant a lot of these iconic creators can be left to feel. And just like, that's like kind of, but I mean, I still love comics. I still love getting to talk to creators and you guys, and like seeing how the donuts are made and stuff. Right. But that continues to shock me sometimes, just like how aggravating this industry can be, and just how
ruthless.
It gets intense, because you would think like the collaborative nature of comics, right? That's where the magic comes from. I mean, yeah, there's people like Matt and Jeff Lemire, and they can like letter draw and do everything themselves because they're fucking mutants, but that's fine, but not other people like to work together. and you know, it's this collaborative effort where the colorists, the line, you know, the line work, the drawer, and the writer and the editors and the letters, everybody comes together to make this like beautiful product, you know, and the teamwork makes the dream work kind of deal, and I love that. And so yeah, it's so crazy how this team building mentality can turn so like cold and callous.
It's mostly not that way. I'll be honest, it's mostly not that way. There are, especially the corporations, you know, Disney and Warner Brothers, they're removed from it. The people making the decisions are not in comics. And so people can get screwed that way. We don't even have to, when I say we pay well, I mean, we pay them what they would make at another book. If they're making an Image book or a Marvel book, we're not overpaying. We don't have to. We just don't want them to have to make a financial reduction a component of the choice to work for us. It doesn't even have to be we're overpaying them or we're making it worth their while financially. That's literally the bar. It's that low. But you're right. It's because these giant corporations they don't give a shit, man. They're people in fancy offices in another city making decisions.
Whereas you guys are like, you're a 5-man team and you all have like history in this industry, and it's like you live, sweat, and breathe this shit, right? And that's the beauty of it. And that's why I know you guys like the naysayers, and I know you like the drama, and it makes for engagement, but it aggravates me. I find myself like I bite my tongue a lot because, you know, I don't.
No, don't bite your tongue. Well, we want them being loud, but we also need you arguing with them.
Yeah,
so they can argue.
I don't like trolls much. Like I've learned, right? I've learned like to pick, especially when you start getting a platform and an audience. Like, you know, I never thought I would have to worry about things I say, which I don't really. I mean, most of the people that listen to me talk, I'm very open about what I believe, but I just don't. I try not to waste my busy existence like hassling little weirdo internet guys, right? You know, like I try to save it for the big moments, but it's just, like I said, like, you know, when people talk about how hard your books are to get, like, it's fucking bogus. Like, if you guys even had a database and a list online of like shops that would send stuff, Midtown Comics sells your stuff that you could buy them online. Yeah, you got to pay shipping. Like, oh, sorry, that's a lot. We got to pay for shipping.
I know, man. The guy you talked about earlier, who's complaining about digital, he also goes out there and he says, I've never bought a Bad Idea comic. I refuse to buy them until digital. We know his store. We know what he buys. He's buying everything. He buys all of them. He's like, I never buy them. And then he comments on every book as it comes out. And people have asked, how do you know that? I borrowed my friend's copy. Sure you did, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You also know that you know, occasionally which Kickstarters he backs.
We're talking about different people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love how you guys have like the fucking hard details on your naysayers. Like, we run IP addresses, Blake. Like, there's a lot of things we can do that people don't realize we have the capacity. Paying for shipping is terrible, but we do it anyway.
We shouldn't, but we read the comments, and they've got good ideas too. And also we get to see how things are reacting, right? The most important part of it is we put something out there, the questions that come up over and over again, we go, okay, we often do this. We'll put a big announcement out, and we know in 3 or 4 days we'll release an FAQ, and it's just questions we see over and over again. Because we're not pretending we're smarter than the average bear. We'll happily see what's confusing and try and tackle it.
What kind of feedback have you gotten on your Kickstarter tiers? Because in some of the Discord communities I'm in, that's been the price was one part. Like, a lot of us, and the people that are mad about the price, you can tell like we all want it too, right? Or because it's like, it's not that we're mad about the price, it's that we're mad that we're fucking grown adults, that we don't have an extra like where did I fuck up in life? Like, I went to college and took out a private loan and have to pay
maybe that's
rent right? And like, if I wasn't paying this rent-sized bill a month to this private student loan company, I could back a $400 tier and not, or at least $150 one. But you know, like, I feel like most people that are mad about it is like for that reason. We're like, we don't have the extra money. But then there's some people have mentioned about like the convoluted tiers and that the Kickstarter page is confusing. And like, have you tried to address any of that?
For the most part, we've seen, from what we can see, it's about 80% people are good, they're positive, and you can see it, 1,200 backers already, right? And the amount of money raised. Majority of people aren't saying getting it. We are seeing, I'd say, about 20-15%. There is some confusion. I think part of it is some people don't want to read that much, and part of it is also we're hamstrung by. We approach Kickstarter very differently. We approach Kickstarter like we approach anything else. What can we do? How can we build a better mousetrap? And so Kickstarters aren't always run. In fact, I don't think anyone runs them like this except for us. it's hard to get the kind of programs we're building into the Kickstarter with that 1,000 word character, not even word, 1,000 character limit. So it is confusing. We're constantly writing each description and then having to call. We've got programs. If you're first, we've got no stretch goals, which is rare. If you're a first day backer, you get a gold pin. We got to explain what that is. Each of these tiers involves everything you prior, so you don't have to decide this one or this one. This one includes this one up here.
Yeah,
that continues all the way down. That's a lot of information. So it is a little confusing. Plus, we've invented things, right? Like that case, the premium case. No one's done that in comics before. The overpaints on the hardcovers. No one's done that before. What exactly does that mean? We've got to explain it each time. So it's a lot. We get it. It's something we're trying to continually crystallize, and hopefully the next one becomes a little less confusing.
And you found like that ritzy, like that fancy printer that only takes payment in like gold and firstborn children or something. Like,
yeah, that thing I'm very excited about. The thing, like Adam said, we're nerds. We go to printers, we look at them. We've seen that printer before. We've sat there and been like, motherfuckers, other industries get to use that thing. Comics that against you. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this thing. We've booked time. We know when we're using it. We're very excited about it. It's gonna be. I mean, you're gonna see the difference. It's awesome. The vibrancy, the quality, the ink densities, the saturation is awesome.
Now, are you going to use that same printer to print the hardcover pages too, or is that going to be special to the direct market? Okay.
No, but both. It's called gang printing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for both. We're not gonna do it for anything else. It's gonna be Megalith. It's too expensive for anything else. But yeah, for Megalith, both the hardcover and the single issues.
That's exciting, man. And by the way, Cole, your number one biggest fan. If you guys ever need an IT security analysis, he's ready to go. I know he's also doing some. He's doing some new certifications and stuff too. So he's getting all souped up and ready for if you guys need. I don't know what they do, some weird nerdy shit. But if you guys need someone to do your weird nerdy shit, make an Excel spreadsheet or something.
Dude, our IT security is terrible. You could sit there and try and crack our Twitter and be like, username, password, password. You're in. It's not that bad. It's close.
I'm always worried about that.
Please do not.
Change it now. Too much.
Like, I was going to say we can edit this out, and then I was like, oh fuck, it's live. Never mind. But no, I'm really excited for what you guys got going on. Like I said, the Kickstarter is cool. And like, you know, if people can't afford it now, I like that that's going to be an option later. The wave 2, what I've heard people talking about, like Josh Dishart's his orc comic, everybody seemed to love, and that was like $8 an issue, and people were still like excited. When I found out that was $8 an issue, I was so shocked because no one that I saw talking about it mentioned the price. Right? They were just talking about how great the book was, how awesome the art was, how fun it was to read. And I was like, man, you got a banger when people are paying $8 an issue and no one says anything about it. They're just like, yeah, duh, I'm going to pay $8 for that. Like, what else am I going to do with this $8?
It is great. I mean, we worked that. Josh came up with something incredible. He worked the hell out of that script. And then Alberto Ponticelli drew the shit out of it. And Hollingsworth colored it like no one's colored anything before. And then we worked it in the printing, the spot gloss, the matte laminate. I mean, it's a
logo.
Plus, it comes with.
I do remember people talking about the logo. I do. The logo. What does this say?
Plus, the B-side. Every issue comes with a second story, so you get that as well, a short story. So it feels like, dare I say, it feels like more value than the big two give you for their $3 or $4.99.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I love Marvel and DC. I really do. I read more of their stuff digitally now because of like the DC app and how like when you'd have DC Ultra, like after a month you get to read the new stuff, which I think is awesome. But you know what sucks about like Marvel stuff is like it like comes equipped with moisture wrinkles. Like they're all wrinkled up and weird looking. And I swear to God, the covers are thinner than the interior pages now. I don't know who decided that.
They are.
It's crazy.
Absolutely a thing that they've done. The reason that happens is because they're using cheaper paper than they used before, and they're using cheaper printers, which shrink the paper because the ink saturations aren't working the way that they should. They just don't give a shit because they're not seeing a sales drop. Once us all stops buying them because that's a factor, they'll stop doing it. Right now, it's not big enough factor for us to not buy.
Yeah. And because I mean, even DC does like their cardstock. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure you
Fine with
guys.
us, because if you hold theirs and ours in your hands, you're
Yeah.
knowing where the value is coming from.
Well, even the Wave 1 books were gorgeous. I thought, like, you guys, we had cardstock covers there. The page weight was not. That's one of the reasons why I really got into Kickstarter and started really liking Kickstarter, was because so many people nerded out on like paperweight and fancy paper, and which I get it too, because like, some of these things, if you're paying like a physical issue now is sometimes $18 shipped for one issue on Kickstarter, and that's a big ask, right? But when you're like, okay, like spot gloss, paperweight, like this feels, every time you turn the page, you got to check because it feels like two pages stuck together, but it's just that one nice page, right? I love that shit. And so that's one of the things that I really liked about this campaign, this megalith, was you guys nerding out on that too, where you found this like printer that comics have never used before, and it's like the best paper, the best ink, the best everything. And I was like, okay, like, fuck, this sounds awesome, because I never thought I would care about paper. Like give me a fucking break, right? Like, what kind of nerd am I? Like, I don't care about canon. I don't get mad about like, gender and sexual stuff in comics. Like, I got bigger shit to worry about, right? Like, I don't care about stuff like that. Like, I'll go with it, right? But like, paper's what gets me. These fucking wrinkly Marvel comics are what gets me. Like, that's what makes me mad. And I'm like, man, what happened to you, Blake? Like, you've lost your edge. You're just a fucking paper nerd now.
You're wrong. It's any product, right? It's, you feel taken advantage of by the company. They're literally stealing from you, right? You're paying what you've always paid, and the product is lesser.
Yeah,
that's a legitimate feeling that consumers have, and something that they should be aware of and they should be nervous about.
Even the omnibuses are different now. Like, Marvel omnibuses used to be like huge, like several inches thick, and they've lowered the paper quality on that too. And so now the omnibuses are real thin. So you can kind of see the ink on both sides of the paper now. Like, it's a bummer. And I collect Marvel omnibuses too, so it's like, oh, I want these, but they're just like, it's not like it used to be. And it's just, you once you take that plastic off, they like scrunch up and wrinkle, and you're just like, there goes the fucking resale value. Like, what happened? I didn't do anything. So yeah,
hilarious, pathetic, but hilarious.
Yeah. But so again, like, just the little details that you guys bring to your audience, which again, like, shows that you guys care too, because you guys, the loops or whatever, the shenanigans, the brand that you put out there, at the end of the day, you care about the people buying your books, and you want them to not only have a great story with great art that they talk about, tell their friends about, and are excited to read, but you want like a quality, you want that art on quality paper. You want this book, whether it's a single issue or hardcover.
Marvel and DC art,
yeah. And so I really do love that about you guys, and I'm just glad. I'm glad you guys do that, and I'm glad you go the extra mile, and especially in this new Kickstarter campaign where you went not even 1 mile or 2 miles, you did like a 5K like sprint into this new production territories.
But that's what's been so great about it, is because we nerd out about this stuff like you are, and we put this out there and we go, well, people care, and then to see this response, we're like, oh wow, there's a lot of people that feel this way. People care. Now we're emboldened. We're going to do it twice what we did here the next time.
Apparently this is the hill that I'm going to die on, because if he got $1 for every time I mention this, he could back the Megalith Kickstarter. Me too, Cole. Me too.
Well, listen, man, I think you should. You keep holding them to that, keep reminding them, use your platform to let them know that that's not cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of Marvel execs do listen and watch my show. So if you guys, they don't do that. But if anybody does, tell your fucking bosses to use better paper. What the fuck's a tree gonna do? Cut it down, chop it up. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Grow more.
Yeah, grow more trees. But guys, I've kept you for over an hour, and this was, it doesn't feel like that at all. Like, time just flew by. Both of you guys were, I'm like, again, so honored that you guys wanted to come on my platform. I thought, I thought I was just really special, but I guess it's because you have a small team and you don't do a lot of press. I'm going to keep telling myself it's because you guys are fucking rock star outlaws and you don't need fucking press. Right. And now it's just different. Now it's like, after I interviewed Matt Kent, the world is just open to me.
Partly true. We didn't call CBR. We called you. We didn't.
Yeah.
I'm
true.
gonna type that, print that, and hang it on my fucking refrigerator, Dinesh. Like I'm gonna read that when I have bad days, when I doubt myself.
You should. It doesn't mean what you think, man. If we want CBR right now, they'd be like, all right, Adam, Dinesh, top 10 MCU moments. We're like, what? In listicle form only. Like, what are you talking about? The most outrageous scenes cut from Star Wars. Go. What? What are you talking about?
We'd be talking about paper quality. Yes. But they can't. They only think in listicles. So you know, there's not much else.
I mean, that's what everybody wants now. Like people have told me I need to start. They're like, reviews are great, but you should make lists. And then I've made like I made a list for like when Godzilla Kong came out, and I did like some good Godzilla Kaiju comics. I sweated over that and stressed over that. And I was like, is this really worth putting on this list? Or am I just putting it on this list because I'm out of things to say? And then like, how much of a write-up do I give each comic? Like, do I do like a whole review or just like a paragraph or like, because oh man, I stressed over that. And I was like, I don't like this. And it got tons of views and clicks, but I was like, that took me so long to work. It was crazy.
The list I've seen others do, I don't know if CBR does this. I saw someone do. They did a list of the 10 biggest selling single issue comics of all time.
Yeah,
and none of the actual 10 were on that. It was like 10 random comics from the last 15 years that had a bunch of variants. Like, you guys aren't even doing your job. It's sad. It's sad what journalism is in the comics industry right now. You guys, people like you, are saving the industry. No joke. Publishers all talk about this. What do we do? How do we get the word out there? What happened to journalism? There's Bleeding Cool. There's The Beat, which is kind of insider. And then there's all you guys. And that's very, very, very important. You're doing really important work. No joke.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate being noticed because like creating comics, sometimes like being press and doing this stuff is like, everybody always tells me like, well, Blake, you do it because you love it. You don't look at the metrics. Well, like, guess what? Like, I'm not going to fucking spend hours reading and researching and prepping for an interview. You guys have talked to me now. I'm long-winded. My interviews go long. So maybe like an hour or 2 hour interview, right? Then I got to edit that. Then I got to post it, make promo art, upload it to YouTube, upload it to the podcast. It turns into an ordeal, right? To this production ordeal. What am I not going to do? Look at the numbers and see who's actually lit. Like, I can't ignore that. I wish I could. I really wish I could, but that's one of the first things I do. Like after it's out for a few days or a week. Yeah. And so, and I do love it. I won't pretend I won't. Like I get stressed and overwhelmed and cranky sometimes, but as soon as the mic goes hot and I start talking to you guys, like the bad day's gone. Like, you know, like like when it's like I'm tired, I'm grouchy, and it's like, man, I wish I could just like log off and be done tonight, but I have this live stream, right? And even when I get that mentality, like once you guys hop in, like it's like a drug that I can't afford anymore.
It's like Kansas City barbecue. Editing is like Texas.
You go from Texas barbecue straight to Kansas City.
It's just it's dry and flaky and then juicy and delicious.
Yeah.
Do they like?
I mean, if you need to wet mop your barbecue to keep it moist, then you know what? Fine. You go ahead, Kansas City. Go ahead and put all that shit on your barbecue. You go. Oh, God damn it, Dinesh. Jesus Christ.
If this country had any morals, like France, they would say you just can't call something champagne. You just can't call something barbecue just because it exists. Texas, gotta step up.
No. There's barbecue, and then everything else is not done with the dry rub and smoke. Should be called Kansas City barbecue. I'm sure it's delicious. It's just not barbecue. That's
you
all
guys
I'm
smoke in
right
Texas. You guys smoke all the time in Texas.
We smoke. We dry rub and we smoke, and that's it. We don't have to wet mop your barbecue to keep it moist. You got to use decent beef for
Wish
to
you would.
start.
Wish you would. Hide that Texas.
Whatever.
Flavor.
You want to talk burnt ends? I'll tell you some burnt ends, motherfucker. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
This should be your next con food campaign. Like, throw the fucking donuts in the donut boxes out the window. Like, you
talked about it. You know anyone that
bad idea barbecue?
We don't have anyone in the company that can cook barbecue for a lick.
You know what?
If we had somebody, then we would definitely do it.
I dislike this man. I really I cannot believe. It's tough.
I'm glad we made it an hour and 20 minutes before the real feels came out.
The other day, food, and we were like, no, we wanted barbecue, and he kept being like, "This is barbecue," and we're like, We don't think he knows what barbecue is. I don't think you've ever had barbecue. Not really.
I really don't like you that I don't.
Somebody get knocked out over some sloppy barbecue.
Goddamn right. You goddamn right. And I will go to the mat on this one.
It's like we were going to send you a care package, Blake, but fuck you, not anymore.
That's right, baby.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. Speaking of, when we're in Kansas City, we should try and get together, get a drink.
Dude, yeah, that would be fucking phenomenal. Like let me know, man. That'd be crazy. That'd be, yeah. I haven't got to meet, like I went to a con, I went to Kansas City Planet Con in March, and like that was like a couple people like knew me, and I was like, what? Hey. Shut up. No, you don't. I was like,
have you signed the autograph yet? Has that happened?
No. I gave out, I gave out business cards to people. But yeah, like no one, actually, no, Maria Wolf had me sign the business card I gave.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
she's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, she's rad. I kept like swinging by her booth, and we would talk, and I would get like, we would talk for like a half hour, and then I would be like, fuck, Maria, I'll be back. Like, I gotta go do I missed my appointment with Kevin Eastman because we talked too long. And then Kevin Eastman let me interview him in a hallway after a panel. He could have told me to fuck off, right? He's fucking Kevin Eastman.
I never met him. I hear he's a really good dude.
Dude, he's so nice. And yeah, he just like, he went out of his way to give me the 6 minutes for an interview. And like, I was like, I gave him a lot of money at his signing too, because I bought some stuff and some remarks, but I mean, he didn't have to do that. And he very much like, he showed up early and stayed up late or stayed late for like all his signings and stuff. He's just that kind of guy. And so, yeah, it was very cool to get to meet people. Like I get to meet you guys, like, you know, we've met, like we had a nice conversation and stuff now, but to like get to do that, like in real life, right. And like, you know, shake hands and laugh. It's just a different experience. So yeah, that was really cool. Like my first con, I got to go as press, and people were like inviting me behind the tables to do interviews. And Jimmy Palmiotti was like, his handler guy was like, Jimmy, this guy said you okayed an interview. And I could see Jimmy was kind of like, and he saw me and he was like, no, it's cool for him. And I was like,
nice.
So
I was like, I just felt these guys.
Yeah. So I felt really, it was a really cool experience for me. And just like my platform and stuff too. And yeah. So yeah, if you guys come to Kansas City, you want to hang out, let me know, and we'll get, you know, maybe some real barbecue or some barbecue or some
something. Texas barbecue in Kansas. That's really good. That's really good of you. That's great.
They have a Texas barbecue place. They put dust in their cornbread to make it even more dry. Is what they like to do.
No.
I heard the FDA is shutting that down. They're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, it's starting to make people not just sick but mad.
Texas only.
It's called the Lonely Star.
I'm gonna call CBR.
1 star. 1 star review. Texas barbecue.
Give me your top 10 Marvel covers of the last 25 years.
Are you serious? Or are you making a joke about CBR? I can't tell. I was the entire time you're talking about Eastman. I'm like, what did he ask him? Did he ask him top 10 shelled animals? Did he ask him?
By the way, speaking of top 10, since we're completely off the rails at this point, ask this man. Speaking of top Marvel comics covers, ask him why he's coming to Kansas City.
I told him.
But what specifically is in that particular show?
Yeah, what
comic that has already been mentioned in this show is? Do you have the?
You're not gonna let me go. Okay. No, I own a buddy and I bought the cover to Ultimate Fallout 4, and it's in the original art, and it's in the exhibition, and they're expanding it, and I was lucky enough to be able to get the cover to Spidey 300, the McFarlane cover. That is also now going in the museum, so both of those will be in the museum. So
wow,
I'm going out to see it.
That is one of my Spider-Man stories. I remember like I was there for like the ground. I was on the ground floor of that, and like Miles Morales, and I loved it. And like that was my Ultimate Spider-Man. Like it wasn't until well into Miles when I went back and bought the Bendis original Ultimate Spider-Man trades, which I loved. Those were great too. But yeah, Miles' story is so courageous and phenomenal and fast paced and full of just feels and that comic book wonder, and just like every page is golden. And I'm so glad that he's still around and not doing well, but like selling. Like he's in movies now, he's on the silver screen, he's everywhere, you know. It's cool.
Games, shoes, all over the place. And they've got
I forget about the new Spider-Man.
I think they've got a whole, they haven't told me exactly what they're doing, but they've got a whole wing devoted to Miles in Kansas City. They've expanded the Miles section. Is what I think.
Yeah, I was really surprised when they announced it, because it didn't seem like a normal Union Station. I mean, you know, like they did like had like the Holocaust Museum stuff there, and they do like big, and I'm not saying comics aren't like historical and stuff, but it's just, it seemed a little bit out of brand for them. So when they announced this Spider-Man art collection exhibit, I was just like, holy shit. Like I was like, yeah, like that just sounds awesome.
They have a ton of stuff. They have scripts from Stan Lee. They've got a ton of stuff. It's very, very popular. When they did in San Diego, I was there the opening day. I was lucky enough to go the opening day. I bought a mug, Spider-Man Museum mug. And then I came back like a week later, and I wanted another mug, and they were sold out for the entire show. It's that popular. I was asking them, like, no, we've done our entire run's projection in like 6 days, and then it's gangbusters. So I think that's partly why they're doing it in Kansas City, because it's just so popular, which is great. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that more people need to do that in more states and more cities. I mean, Kansas City is like one of the biggest little cities around, right? And we are in like the Bible Belt, right? But we are like this nice blue speck that still appreciates arts and stuff, like in the midst of the Bible Belt. So it's a good place to have it. But I'm with you. Like we need more of that. Like we need to like establish it more in culture outside of these big movies, because like what we find out about these big movies is they don't really fucking care about who made them. Who made these characters popular, right? And we need to get people to look outside of that and get them into comic book shops, and like, hey, that's how you find crazy indie comics. That's how you find crazy ass bad idea comics, right? When you like start exploring the weird nooks and crannies that this medium has to offer outside of like Marvel and DC. So, but that's how you get there. So you lure them you get them into a museum, or where we make great barbecue, and you give them the whole experience. Well, I can see I can see steam coming out of Adam's ears, which maybe if like you would use that steam when you're making the meat, it might not be as dry and tough. But
this is never going to end for you.
I'm the king of segues. No, again, both of you, like, it was an honor to get to talk to you. I love what you guys are doing. I love the fucking guerrilla warfare you fight in the streets of indie comics. There's nothing like it. It's so fun to watch. It's so fun to watch you guys excel, even with like the naysayers screaming and how you, when the fake protests and the crazy stuff that you guys pull and to make this bad idea brand unlike anything that comic books has ever seen. Like, I want you to know that, like, me and a lot of my mutuals and friends and people that watch this show, think you guys are doing some really cool stuff. Man, and all I wish is that you keep doing it, and wish the best for you both, because you're onto something. Thank you. That really means a lot. We can't, it's hard for us to tell. That's really, really nice to hear. Thank you, man. Yeah. And thanks for having us. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah, no, it was. I'm so glad it got to happen. Real quick, because I am Adam may not think it anymore, but because I'm the polite podcast host that I am,
with bad taste in barbecue, it's fine. Yeah.
Obviously, bad taste in barbecue, great taste in comics, baby. It's all right though. We'll make it. Obviously, you can go to Kickstarter. The Adam Freeman story. You can look up Megalith you Google Megalith and Kickstarter, it'll get you there. But like, you guys specifically, I know bad idea hello on social medias, but like, where's a good place to like keep track of you guys? Are you still on the chaos of Twitter, or like where do you guys? Adam and I both on Twitter and Instagram, but everything Bad Idea is also Instagram, Twitter, and we've got the Facebook fan pages. We're not hard to find. We're pretty easy to find, man. Yeah, Bad Idea hello on Instagram, Bad Idea hello on Twitter, and then I don't know what Adam's is like. Adam Bang. Adam Bang Freeman. Barbecue 1-star barbecue reviews. I'm gonna go get that right now. Literally, we're gonna go Lone Star Barbecue Reviews. Lone Star Barbecue Reviews. That's what you're looking for. At Lone Star Barbecue Reviews. Adam's favorite top 10 barbecue meals in the MCU. Oh my God. Well, guys, again, this was so fun, and congratulations on the success of this Kickstarter, which I feel like we're just kind of seeing the edge of it, right? Because I mean, you're going to get, especially not, even if it kind of lulls now, right? You're still going to get that big 48-hour bump in the end.
We
So
hope
like
so.
something's going to happen.
We're new to this. We've got some plans. We've got some more announcements and stuff coming. When people crack that code a little more, we'll publicize that, and I think that a lot of people will jump in because of that, because it's a pretty bit crazy what we're doing with that code.
And as he mentioned earlier, I mean, we're approaching Kickstarter in the same way we approached the direct market, and in the same way we've approached all of comics, right? We want to understand it. We understand the mechanics of how it works so that we can break it, right? We can play with it. And so we have a lot of ideas that are coming up that I think you guys are going to find it to be as much fun as we do. And if not, you're going to find them very irritating, which is going to be fun for us. So yeah, either way, I think that you're going to have a good time watching this Kickstarter as it unfolds, because we still have lots and lots planned.
I like that mentality of like treating the Kickstarter like a show, right? Like it's something, it's something to, because when quarantine happened, like that was, the Kickstarter was how the closest we got to like a con, right? Because it was like direct contact with the creators, whether you're leaving comments or getting the Kickstarter updates from you guys, and like it's a tighter bond between consumer and creator than you get from like going into a comic book shop. It's a different kind of animal, and that's what makes it special. But a lot of these, some people don't do the campaign updates and stuff as well as maybe they should, or other people do. So yeah, treating it like something fun and like that's entertainment, right? Like that's a good way to think about Kickstarter campaigns. And I hope other creatives that watch the show that are also on the crowdfunding platforms, like take that to heart and consider that for your next campaign. Like make it a show, make it fun. Like, I know it's a hassle and you already have a million things to do, but like think of it as a way to draw more people. It's all about marketing, right? And you got to get weird, but also you got to have fun. You got to have fun with it. If you're not having fun, people are going to see that. People are going to see, like Adam, when you were talking about barbecue, they're just going to be like, this guy hates it here. Oh my God.
or a customer just eating Texas barbecue for the first time, being like, what the fuck is this?
You know what though? I'm gonna be the much bigger man here, because I am from Texas and everything is bigger there.
Do you like Chinese food in New York, Adam? Is that authentic Chinese food to you? Because that's what barbecue in Texas is like for me.
If you're on Kickstarter and you're making books, I mean, the whole point of doing this is to entertain people, right? It is to entertain, and I think all of it, at least that's how we approach it. All of Kickstarter, all of the messaging, all of the selling donuts so that we can kind of slide comics in underneath. All of it is about entertainment, and it's all of a package. You can't just view this one thing. None of us gets to do just this one thing, because it all is necessary. So. See what I did there? Just walked right past you, straight to the point.
I can't even see you. You're so tall. Right? It's
know,
insane.
Right? That's right.
Insane.
That's right.
No, but again, both of you are awesome, and this was so like you guys are great. Like honestly, like I could do this all night, and all you guys are already like, no, Blake, we gotta fucking.
Mostly me. Right?
we're not gonna be on your show all night, dude. No, Cole's probably thinking the same thing too, because Cole's like, we have a show after this.
I was told we were here until the Kickstarter ends. This is a telethon.
That's right, it's a telethon.
Okay.
Oh shit!
But
why have we not done a telethon?
If you want me to host a telethon for any bad idea event ever, I will do it. I will do anything you want.
Let's go and write on the book. We're making that one happen. A telethon.
Like I will do like a 24-hour live. So I'll just pound fucking Red Bull like till like my heart beats out of my chest. We'll be like, I don't even know how we would take calls.
Jerry Lewis, like we'll have people like juggling and like juggling dogs and
hire a bunch of paid actors to like sit behind the screens, and they're just like not just mouthing words into fake phones. Just
yeah. Oh, I'm totally into this. I think we got to make this happen.
I look forward to the two of you figuring this out. We'll have no part of this. I feel the same way about this that I feel about Texas barbecue.
I fed you Texas barbecue. I have a picture. Legitimately, like the second time I knew this man, we went to a place called Hill Country Barbecue here in New York. And it's good. It's not great, but it's really good. And I have a picture of this man who was, at the time, I believe, like a devout vegetarian, just laying into some ribs, just getting in. He's like, it's a tiny man, this giant, like Fred Flintstone size rib. It was
nice.
It's really
show the photo. Let's see what my face is like.
Yeah. By the way, we got a day one backer,
Yes.
like
Yes.
hashtag Valiant for life, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sig, man. Thanks for popping in. I know you were in late, but you can always go back. This will be on the channel after the show ends. You can watch it from the beginning. This was such a great chat, guys. I keep saying this. I've kept you for so long, and then you guys just suck me back into the conversation because you're both so kind and entertaining. I love everything you're doing and that you're doing for both yourself, your company, and for Indie Comics. Keep championing yourselves and the books, and I'm excited to see what y'all do next. And yeah, if you guys are in Kansas City and you feel like hanging out with a weirdo, hit me up, man. I'll come running.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the time, man. Thanks for having us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for coming on. Everybody in the comments, thank you so much for hanging out. Remember, love more, hate less, read comics. We say it, we preach it, we believe it. And please check out this Kickstarter. It needs your help, right? All right. It's how are we going to get to $280,000 if you guys don't back it?
We need your help.
We need
your help. Call the number on your screen.
Just share it, retweet it. Call the number on your screen. All right.
Yes. Thanks, Blake.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and come back. I'll be on with Blake and Cole read a book tonight. We're doing AWA's Gatsby. That will be in about an hour. And unless you guys have anything else to say, I'm going to play the music.
I can't wait to hear the music.
All right. Good night, everybody.
It's Blake's Buzz Live.